Since Fabrizio Romano has said the famously known "here we go" quote for the Bale news, that's good enough for me, as Gareth Bale makes his return to North London after 7 years with Real Madrid and signs with Tottenham on a season-long loan, and Tottenham will pay about £20 million in wages and loan fees. Additionally, Tottenham are going to sign fullback Sergio Reguilon as well in a permanent move for about £27.6 million, though this video will mainly focus on the Bale signing. First of all, this is exactly the sort of signing Tottenham were looking for, as it instantly improves their starting 11, and will now have a third genuine goal scorer in the team along with Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. The trio all of a sudden look like a trio which now looks like it is more capable of making Spurs challenge for a top 4 spot once Bale gets some regular minutes into his legs. When he first played at Tottenham all those years ago, he was predominantly playing on the left-hand side, but Bale has had to accommodate for Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid, so Bale has had to play on the right-hand side, but it didn't hamper him at all, scoring 105 goals in all competitions for Real Madrid. If anything, moving Bale onto the right-hand side actually enabled him to shoot more and score more goals, as it allowed Bale to now cut the ball inside, and it gave him now the option to provide an in-swinging cross or to shoot with his favourite left foot, as the curl of the ball would now swing towards goal. Another underrated strength of Bale is his ability aerially. At Real Madrid, he won on average just as many headers in set-piece situations as Cristiano Ronaldo himself, and with Harry Kane and Alderweireld already threats in the air for the Spurs, Gareth Bale will only add to the problems of the opposition defense and should score a good amount of goals from set pieces. I don't think Real Madrid fans just appreciated how good of a player Bale was for Madrid, and he really got some unwarranted criticism, so I think it's a great thing that Bale will move to a team that will appreciate him way more, albeit just for one season at this stage. Don't forget, it was only 2 years ago when Gareth Bale was the star of the match when he carried Real Madrid to their 13th Champions League trophy, when he scored a brace which included a scissor kick, and he just flat out dominated the game, although admittedly he was also a substitute for this game. So if anything, this actually proves that he only needs about 20 to 30 minutes to change the momentum of any given game, meaning he could still find a way to make an impact potentially in just a few weeks despite a lack of match fitness. People also tend to forget that this guy has won the Champions League 4 times. So he knows how to win silverware, which is something the Spurs desperately need if they are to claim that they are a big club internationally. But as great as this move is for Tottenham, I still have my concerns about the Gareth Bale signing. The first concern is how long will it take for Gareth Bale to get back into full fitness, which is what I touched on a little bit just before. He does currently have a minor knee injury, which should clear up very soon, but additionally in the short term, Bale has played very few games in the year 2020 and has generally played fewer games in the last year since he was no longer in Zinedine Zidane's plans at Real Madrid. So it will take him time to get back into match fitness, and probably at least 4 to 6 weeks to do so. But in the long term, Bale has gotten injured many times, particularly in the last 3 to 4 years, and has spent a lot of time on the sideline with reoccurring injuries for his knees, ankles, and especially his troublesome left calf, which I've quite frankly lost the exact amount of times he's injured that damn calf. With these injury concerns, it will mean that you will probably see Gareth Bale be limited to probably about 25 appearances, I want to say, in the Premier League. Since he has a body that could be starting to break down a little bit, this will mean that he will need to be managed regularly throughout the season, and to be honest, he'll probably need to be managed now probably for the rest of his career now. In terms of what the Bale signing means for the rest of the team, it will definitely see Lucas Moura being relegated to being a squad player once again, once Bale is up and running, but I can still see Lucas Moura being a live wire off the bench, as like Gareth Bale, Moura has some serious pace on him, which will still be a menacing threat to defences. Spurs fans will just have to hope that Moura's confidence doesn't take a hit with less game time, although I don't think it will, to be honest with you guys, so hopefully Lucas Moura will be able to deal with that and move on with it. Eric Lamella's role probably doesn't change too much either, as he will still provide a half-decent depth option off the bench. The formation will not need to be changed at all probably to accommodate Bale, because as was discussed already, Bale basically comes into the 11 in a straight swap with Lucas Moura on the right hand side of the park. But there is one thing about Bale as well in terms of formations, and that he's an unbelievably versatile player, as he can also play as a second striker if Mourinho does try to tinker the formation for any reason, which I'll discuss a bit on later. And he can also play on the left-hand side of the park too, obviously, as I mentioned before, that's where he actually started his career. Quickly talking about the signing of Sergio Reguilón, and I think it is a good signing too, as it gives Tottenham more options in the fullback position, and Reguilón is probably a lot more of a threat in attack compared to Ben Davies. But Davies is probably more solid defensively, as Reguilón has been caught out in occasion committing too much to an attack, and it just doesn't seem as great defensively as what Ben Davies is, as that is probably something that Ben Davies is a bit more of a specialist in, as he does tend to stay back a little bit more than usual. There has been speculation of Mourinho wanting to use a 3-4-3 formation, so should Mourinho go with this, then it probably favours Reguilón. But if Mourinho wants to park the bus per se, like he has in the past, not trying to mention anything, but just saying, then Davies would probably still be preferred here, if Mourinho were to go down this path. Anyway though, the main takeaway should be that Gareth Bale has signed with Tottenham, and is definitely a big plus to the Spurs side on the condition he's able to get back to full match fitness. And if he does get back to full fitness, then I think it's going to be very exciting to see what this Spurs team can do with the trio of Bale, Kane and Son up front. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content, and let me know what you think of the Bale signing.